In a couple seconds.
Here's our bird.
At this time, I'd like to call the Crystal Council meeting to order. Let's start with roll call, please.
Councilmember Budaszewski.
Here.
Councilmember Deschler.
Here.
Councilmember Kaiser.
Here.
Councilmember LaRoche.
Here.
Councilmember Parsons.
Here.
Mayor Adams.
Here.
And Councilmember Banks.
Here.
We have a quorum.
All right, thank you. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are here. We have an agenda before us. Looking for a motion on that. Nancy?
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda.
Thank you. Looking for a second.
A second.
Thank you. Brendan? All members in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Motion carries. All right. Well, tonight is a special night. We have our chief here to do an introduction, and we have some extra guests in the room today. So, Chief, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Mayor, members of the council. As you said, it is a special night. We're excited that you're going to be swearing in Sergeant Gabe Storz of the Crystal Police Department. So at this time, I ask Gabe to step forward. Sergeant Storz was originally born in Denver, Colorado, and moved to Minnesota in the mid-90s. He is the second oldest of 4 brothers and 1 sister. Gabe graduated from Macquarie High School in 2000 and immediately began working in the construction industry. After graduating high school, Gabe spent over 9 years in the construction field as a foreman. In April 2014, Gabe graduated from North Hennepin Community College with an associate's degree in law enforcement and began working as a police officer with the Becker and Big Lake Police Departments. In April 2015, Gabe was lucky enough to be hired here at the Crystal Police Department and has worked as a patrol officer since. Notice how I said lucky because of those other 2 police departments, and we stole them, and this is good for us too. Okay.
Yeah, you think?
During his time with us, he has received 2 Exceptional Performance Awards and was awarded Officer of the Year in 2016. Gabe endured a rigorous promotion process to stand before you tonight. After completing his application, he completed a panel interview at department and city leadership, a career index screening job knowledge exam, and a full psychological screening. Gabe impressed everyone that he's interacted with during that entire process. And he certainly has earned the honor of being promoted to sergeant. In his free time, Gabe enjoys hunting, fishing, spending time with his family and friends, and riding his Harley. Gabe enjoys spending time at his home on the Elk River in Becker and enjoys hunting, fishing, golf, and exercise. We're very excited to see Gabe move into this leadership role in the department. And after he's sworn in tonight by the mayor, Sergeant Storz is joined tonight by his significant other, Andy, who will be pinning his badge number on him. Not number, well, badge. It is a number. Right, it does have a number.
It does have a number, yeah.
So, Mr. Mayor, if I could have you step forward and swear him in. Gabe will have you step right here.
Well, let's get situated. This is for you, not for me.
I, Gabe Storz, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the laws of the state of Minnesota and the ordinances of the city of Crystal. And I further affirm that I will faithfully and impartially discharge my duties as sergeant and providing assistance and service to all that look to me for help to the best of my ability. So help me God.
I don't even need to say anything.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
The lipstick.
The lipstick is classic.
I love it.
That's all right. That's all right. That's all right. It's
And he's
heartfelt.
never going to live that down.
You know, we all do our part.
Right, absolutely. Right. Mr. Mayor, if you don't mind, I'm sure his family and friends do not want to sit here for the rest of the council.
Are you sure?
They're gonna
All right, yes, you guys.
Thank you very
Not
much,
important.
everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Yeah, thank you. Congratulations. So our second appearance, I'd like to continue. Our financial director, due to weather, is not able to make it, so if you don't mind, we'll continue that till the next council meeting. And then we will talk about our consent agenda. I'll read that into the record at this time. Approval of minutes for the following meetings. The council meeting and work session from January 10th, or excuse me, just the work session from January 10th, 2019. And then the council and work session from January 15th, 2019. And then approval of the list of license applications submitted by the city clerk to the city council. That list is on file in the office of the city clerk. And then approval of a resolution accepting the following donations. $500 from Newport Collision Center for the Crystal Ball. For those of you who don't know, that's Steve Adams' company. He does a lot. He's in our commissions and historical society, that sort of thing. Approval of a joint powers agreement with Minneapolis Police Department for police services for the 2019 NCAA tournament. That's for that joint powers agreement. Approval of revised planning commission bylaws. There's a couple of changes on that. Approval of a resolution authorizing application for Hennepin County transit-oriented development funds for trail construction along the south side of Becker Park on Bass Lake Road. Approval of a temporary on-sale license for the Crystal Fund for Community Progress for their event of beer tasting at the community center on March 15, 2019. That is our consent agenda. I'm looking for a motion on that. Julie?
I'll move approval of the consent agenda as read.
All right, thank you, Julie.
I'll second that.
Thanks, Olga. All members in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Motion carries.
Can I ask one question?
Sure.
It's about the NCAA tournament. Is the commitment for that as much as what we had for the Super Bowl, or is it,
The reimbursement?
well, the number of officers, the number of hours
Yep,
is
good,
the same, right?
good question. Yep, so we're sending, I believe, 12 to 14 officers that have decided they would like to participate, which is a little less than what we sent to the Super Bowl.
Okay.
All right. Anything else? All right, very good. We will continue. We do have someone wishing to speak during our open forum. Open forum is a time where we are able to allow some time to have people come speak, and we have 3 minutes we allot for each person and 10 minutes for each topic. And why don't we get started with that? We have Dave Kaiser here wishing to speak. Could you step forward, please? So I don't know if you're used to this, but you can adjust the mic. I'm kidding. Perfect. Welcome, Dave. Why don't you go ahead? You're representing NEAR today.
Yes, thank you, Mayor and council members. And I'm here tonight to mention NEAR and say a big thank you from NEAR. My wife, Gina, and I, Gina sitting right here in the audience, have volunteered with NEAR for a few years. And a few years ago, Jan Monroe tapped us on the shoulder and said, you know this big toy distribution that we have in December at the Crystal Community Center? It is a huge task, and I'm getting a little older, and I might need some help organizing this. And we said, we'll take a look at it. So we shadowed her for a year, in fact 2 years, to see what the event was like and how we might be able to help out. And we said, we think we can help you with this. So Jan this year turned some of the reins over to my wife and I to help out with the event. But the event could not happen without Crystal. And so I want to say thank you very much, and a special thank you to Jason Minnick over at the Community Center. He is an angel when it comes to this event because it takes a lot of space, a lot of volunteers, a lot of organization. I think 45 tables set up in the one gym to handle all of the items that are given out. And I have a few numbers that have just been put together from the event this year. which was December 13th through the 15th. So a Thursday through Saturday. First 2 days are set up. Last day is the event itself. 646 kids came to the event and received Christmas gifts that they probably would not have received elsewise. So it's a fantastic event. 125 volunteers. So again, the event just doesn't happen. There are a lot of volunteers from Crystal around the Northwest area that come together to make this event happen and to make people smile, and that's what it's all about. So thank you to Jason, thank you to Crystal for being a partner in this and allowing us to use that space and make this event happen. And if you're wondering, yes, it is on for the next year. We've already been talking about the plans for this next year. It will be December 12th, 13th, and 14th. I've already met with Jason a couple times to talk about the space needs and some of the things we might tweak just a little bit. So it should be an exciting event. If any of you are interested in volunteering and helping out or just see what happens that day, we'd love to have you there. The Saturday is the big day of the event. So thank you again. Appreciate your help.
Thank you, Dave.
Thank you.
Gina, thank you as well. It's nice to have, as it were, new blood to step up and serve in our community. So thank you for that. We appreciate that. All right. Is there anyone else wishing to speak during open forum? Anybody else? Okay. We will continue past open forum and start with our regular agenda. First item on our regular agenda is always the disbursements of $25,000 or greater, and I will read that into the record at this time. Seems we have a fairly large list here. The Crystal Truck Equipment, vehicle number 109 for $37,555. Met Council Environmental Services for sewage disposal charges, $130,159. Para for the city, or the employee city required contribution for January pay date 1/11, $54,132. West Metro Fire Rescue District Fire Protection Services for January, $100,522. The City of Brooklyn Park for HRG admin fee for 2018 is $89,350. Golden Valley Joint Water Commission for November water charges is $126,059. Logis for services and direct charges of $32,630. Shingle Creek WMO for 2019 watershed dues is $28,622. Golden Valley Joint Water Commission, that's December water charges for $77,637. Health Partners December, January, February premiums is $294,328. LMCIT for 2019 workers' compensation coverage, that's $177,252. And also for the 2019 liability coverages for $366,007. And next is the City of New Hope for the second half of the 2018 animal control for $25,177. Para for the employee city required contributions for January pay date 1/25 is $57,103. Total disbursements of $25,000 or greater is $1,596,536.51. Julie.
I just had a question, maybe Ann might know this. The differences from the water bills from November to December for Golden Valley. December is $78,000 and November is $126,000. That seems like quite a
Well, I'm sure we're into winter usage, which is way lower, and the November is really probably earlier, September, October, correct?
Okay.
Correct.
Okay. Are there any other questions on any of these items from the council? No, pretty straightforward. That's quite a list. Oftentimes it's 3 or 4, but that's quite a list. All right, I'm looking for a motion for passage of this. John?
So moved.
Thank you. Looking for a second? Nancy?
I'll second.
Thank you. All members in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Motion carries. All right. We have our recreational director, John Elmholm. He's in position already. He's here to address the council on the Becker Park improvement. So welcome, John.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, City Council members. I'm here again to talk about the Becker Park project. As you know, this has been a project that's been planned for a long time. Actually, prior to some of the bullets on the slide, planning began back in 2016. Master plan was completed in 2017, and then in 2018, the design work for Becker Park began. We had a couple of public meetings over the course of the summer, and then contracts to remove the existing structures were approved in November with authorization to go out for bid in December. So those bids have been received, and they came in very favorably. The engineer's estimate for what we were looking to do is $3.9 million, and the low bid is $3.502275 with Custom Builders, Inc. So the budget for the project is the $3,502,275. We did add a contingency there. And then there are some consultant contracts for this. We have both consulting and design work for the park part as well as the stormwater part of the project. We have not ordered the playground yet. That is not part of this part of the contract. That will be ordered separately. So we do have some funds yet to expend on the playground. And then the direct city costs are things like some of the removals, and we will be directly ordering benches, tables, and some of those other amenities that come with the park. So that's the other number there. So for a total of $5,262,503, which is considerably less than the estimate that I provided back in December when we were here requesting to go out for bid. The revenues for this is essentially the same slide that I showed you in December. Things that have changed is we have, have received a little bit additional revenue. Paul's Pals is a nonprofit organization that helps fund projects for kids with different mobility impairments and such. So that's added to the list. And then as we add funds, the amount of funding from the city will go down. So we'll continue to look for different funding streams. And like I say, if we don't spend contingency, that will be less money that the city spends. And then any additional funds we receive will lower the city contribution as well. The infiltration project, this slide is essentially the same as what I showed you in December. A lot of different funding sources here. And it's a variety of different funding.
Can I just add that under the pending, I think Mark just got word that we did receive the $100,000 grant. So that's no longer pending, that's a for sure.
All right. So anyway, things we keep working on it and trying to bring in additional outside funding, and that will continue to happen. So the next steps in this is we will finalize contracts, issue a notice to proceed. There will be a pre-construction meeting in March, and then construction, depending on how weather shakes out here, will begin in late March or early April. The goal is for substantial completion to be done by September or October timeframe, and then have a grand opening for the park the following spring. So the request tonight is to approve the attached resolution to enter into a contract with Custom Builders, Inc. in the amount of $3,502,275 for improvements at Becker Park.
All right, thank you, John. Are there any questions for John? I'm really looking forward to that. It's fun to drive by there and see how big that space really is. With no trees and no buildings, you can see all the way across it.
Yeah.
I'm guessing the people from the apartment buildings are going, wow, I didn't know that park was that big. So they get to watch the construction over the next year. With that, if there aren't any further questions, Jesse?
Just a basic point of information question. BeckerPark.com, right? Or is it BeckerPark.org?
It is BeckerPark.com. And thank you for
BeckerPark.com.
that. BeckerPark.com has all the information
Yes.
on the project. From why is this happening? There's a question and answer part. Has pictures of all the pieces of playground equipment that are planned currently. So there's a lot of good information at that website.
And you're posting updates regularly, because I
Yes.
think we're trying to send residents there
That is correct.
for the latest updates.
Right. I believe there's a fundraiser listed on that website as well.
Yes.
So let's pay attention to that.
More revenue.
You're all invited to come to that. That's looking forward to that. All right, looking for motion on this item. Nancy?
I would like to make a motion to
Move for the award contract for Becker Park redevelopment project 2018-03.
Awesome. Looking for a second. Olga?
I'll second that.
Thank you. All members in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Motion carries. Item number 3, we have Mark Ray, our Public Works Director, here to address the council. And this is on Becker Park improvements. Is that right? Yep.
It is, step 1. So now
one.
the contract for construction has been approved. The next step is just to consider approval of the professional services kind of for the stormwater side. So again, Wank will be providing these services, which includes, construction observation, surveying, system performance monitoring. So basically, we have to do, I think it's like a year of follow-up of how is the system performing, some additional modeling, and then reporting for all the grants that we got. The cost for phase 4 is $125,000, which will bring the total cost for Wank to just over $300,000. This cost is grant eligible, and this number has been included in all the financial analysis you've seen this evening. So with that, any questions?
Questions from the council? None. Easy night. All right, looking for a motion on this item then as well. Olga?
I'll make a motion to approve plans and specifications for this project. I'm looking at the wrong thing.
Construction
Improvement
services.
contract, there you go.
All right. Thank you, Olga. Brendan?
I'll second.
Thank you. All members in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Motion carries.
Well, since spring is in the air, it's time to start thinking about construction.
I'm on a million over.
Separate from this, working on a long-term infrastructure plan that'll be coming before you probably in the next couple months. But that said, we have a mill and overlay plan for this coming summer. It's funded through 3 different mechanisms. It's all in the street maintenance fund, but kind of 3 different line items you can see there. The project scope this year will be about $535,000 is the estimated cost. Include a 2-inch mill, so we'll take off the top 2 inches of asphalt, put down a new mat of asphalt, as well as some miscellaneous concrete work, including pedestrian ramps and curb replacements. The area we'll be working in is right around just north of Lions Valley Park, as well as 32nd from Nevada over to Douglas Drive. You'll see there's a lot of patches along there from various projects that have been done over the years, so we're going to go back and kind of clean that up as part of the project. So there's 2 resolutions before you. The first one is to approve the plans and specifications, and the second one is to order the ad for bid. It'll go out, then it'll come back before you for consideration of awarding the contract. Any questions?
Any questions? Julie?
Haven't we done some of this work in-house rather than contracting it out?
Yeah, well, yes, but no. So the idea, as you look at our long-term plan, is that we will do in-house mill and overlays, but we see that as a kind of a spot to hit the worst areas.
Okay.
To basically extend some life, kind of bridge it based between when things start to go bad and we can come in there for a full mill and overlay. So as these contracted out ones are much larger areas, then what we did in-house is basically like a few blocks compared to what they're doing there. So we do and we'll continue in-house, actually not this coming year, as kind of the bridge between when it starts to go bad, getting up to where we actually do a mill and overlay contracted out.
So in this particular neighborhood, do I recall this being one of those that had the asphalt that was
Raveling?
not good?
Yeah, so we actually, and some people noticed this, we did some milling and overlaying in this area as recent as 2 years ago, I believe, because it was so bad. And so that was done because we were just trying to extend the life to this point. That's what we did in-house. We actually did a little bit of a thinner section to just reduce costs and just try to get it through to this point, basically.
Okay, very good.
Question.
Brendan?
So this is part of the regular plan, right? Correct. That.
The new post-street reconstruction plan, yes.
Okay.
Nancy?
And Mark, I see we have work scheduled to be completed by August 16th. When would it be starting?
That'll be dependent on when the contractor wants to get in there and then weather as well.
Anticipate a couple months or month, probably.
Yeah, this will be at least a month with the concrete work that needs to be done.
Mm-hmm.
Probably what'll happen is they'll come in and mill it, then they'll do the concrete work, and the concrete will set, then they'll come back and pave it. we're trying to provide a larger window to get better pricing to allow the contractors some flexibility. So that's the intent, and hopefully it'll work out.
All right.
Question.
John?
And this is just a wear course because the base is fine, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Yep. In some areas, it might barely get into the top of the base, but yeah, it's a 2-inch mill, and the street is thicker than that in asphalt.
All right. Looking for a motion on the plans and specifications. Anyone? Julie?
I will make a motion to approve the plans and specifications for the 2019 street mill and overlay project.
Thank you. Looking for a second?
I'll second that motion.
Thanks, John. All members in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Motion carries. Now, looking for a resolution on the ordering of the advertisement for bids. Brendan?
Move to, this is the entrance, right? Resolution on ordering the advertisement for bids for the 2019 street and mill and overlay project.
All right, thank you. Looking for a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Therese. All members in favor, please say aye.
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 Opposed, say nay. Motion carries. Right. That's all the fun we have today? 4 items? Wow. Well, that's okay. That's okay. We don't mind that much. We do have some announcements, however. City offices will be closed Monday, February 18th for President's Day, and the next Citizens Input Day is Tuesday, February 19th at 6 p.m. in Conference Room A. And the next City Council meeting is Tuesday, February 19th at 7 p.m. and here at the Council Chambers. Crystal Business Association meets Wednesday, February 20th at 8:30 a.m. at Crystal Hall in the Community Room. The Crystal Ball will be held February 22nd, 2019 at the Crystal Community Center. Tickets are available on the website as well as at the Community Center. The Crystal Council will hold work session on Tuesday, February 26th at 6:30 p.m. in Conference Room A here at City Hall. Fundraiser, bowling for the Canine Officer Leo fundraiser is Saturday, March 10th. Sunday. Thank you. Helps to look at the text, huh? Sunday, March 10th at 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. That's at New Hope Bowl, and there's a lunch following at the Crystal VFW Post 494. And again, thank you, VFW Post, for continuing to sponsor these fundraisers. It's a great service to our community. Local organizations are invited to lead the pledge at council meetings. Just contact staff for information to do so. Council meetings and work sessions are available to the public on our website for listening and viewing. And if you would really like to, you can come in person. So that's available for both of those. One additional announcement, it is Black History Month, and we have announcements that relate to Crystal. And in this particular case, we have our own Brendan Banks, who is speaking at Robbinsdale Area School for the event. It's Thursday, February 28th from 5 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. Please join us in supporting Brendan at that. You are speaking, correct?
Yes. It's going to be at Fair Crystal.
Yeah, it's at Fair Crystal. Very good. What else? Anything else I need to know about this? Brendan will be there. So, I don't want it to go by without noticing. Brendan Banks is our first African-American elected official here in Crystal, and it is Black History Month. So without mentioning that, I think I'd be feeling kind of ashamed of myself. So congratulations to you and your family in the history for Crystal. It's very meaningful to all of us. So thank you for your efforts.
Thank you.
Yep, you're welcome. I hope I didn't surprise you too much on that. He's like, oh, what are you doing? Any other announcements? Julie?
Well, there was one we just casually mentioned earlier, but on the March 15th, the Cheers to Crystal at the Community Center.
Right.
Just kind of, it's going to be a collection of some restaurants around town that are going to offer food samplings, and then I believe some different craft beers and whatnot. So should be kind of a fun time. It's the first time that Fund for Community Progress is trying this, and
And they're raising
kind
money.
of excited about it too.
Raising money for playground equipment for Becker Park.
Right.
Yeah, that's the purpose of it.
Yeah.
So
They have a website too, isn't it? Cheersforcrystal.com. And
Hold on, we
John
got,
can answer
we
that.
got, we got real
Websites
information.
are awesome.
Thank you for bringing this up. Yes, the Crystal Fund is running this beer tasting event, and it is cheerstocrystal.com.
Excellent. I like that we have simple websites for reference.
So if you go to beckerpark.com, there's a link to cheerstocrystal.com, and then from
Great.
cheerstocrystal.com, there's a link back to the Becker Park.
Perfect.
All right.
Going on there.
It's very well organized.
Cross-pollination, very good. Very good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anything else? Nancy?
Make a motion to adjourn.
All right, looking for a second? Julie?
I'll second.
Thank you. All members in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay? All right, you guys have a great evening.